Ready to dive into an exclusive sneak peek of the highly anticipated horror sequel, Evil Dead Rise? As the fifth installment of the iconic Evil Dead franchise, this movie promises to deliver a fresh and terrifying take on the cult classic. It's got just about everything all you horror junkies are looking for, from spine-chilling scares, jaw-dropping special effects, to a story that will leave you begging for more. Get ready for a thrill ride like no other, cause trust us, Evil Dead Rise is worth its weight in screams. Before the latest installment, the Evil Dead franchise was actually a series of 4 horror flicks brought to life by the brilliant mind of Sam Raimi. These films revolved around our favorite protagonist, Ashley, or Ash, J. Williams, who's hilariously portrayed by the one and only Bruce Campbell. Ash finds himself in a heap of trouble as he battles against the Deadites, which are these undead antagonists conjured up by the sinister Necronomicon Ex Mortis. And since then, it's been all about Ash taking on these relentless foes and trying to survive the night in true blood-soaked, heart-pounding fashion. The first installment came back in 1981, and it was a cult classic, not meant for the faint of heart. The indie horror flick follows a group of friends who head to a remote cabin in the woods for a weekend getaway, but things quickly take a turn for the worse when they accidentally unleash an ancient evil lurking in the woods. From demonic possession to relentless gore, the Evil Dead delivered an intense and terrifying experience. The practical effects and DIY filmmaking style gave it a gritty and raw charm that horror fans can't get enough of. Evil Dead 1981 is a true horror gem that has stood the test of time and continues to captivate audiences with its chilling tale of survival against all odds. Now let's talk about Evil Dead 2, the 1987 sequel that took the cult classic franchise to a whole new level of craziness. This second installment is often described as a re-imaging of the original Evil Dead, with a mix of horror and dark comedy that's sure to keep you on the edge of your seat and laughing at the same time. Evil Dead 2 picked up where the first film left off, with Ash, played by the iconic Bruce Campbell, back at the cursed cabin in the woods. As the evil forces lurking there continue to torment him, Ash must once again face off against possessed demons and supernatural horrors. But this time, the stakes are even higher, and the gore's even bloodier. One of the standout features of Evil Dead 2 was its unique blend of horror and humor. Raimi's slapstick comedy style is on full display, with the over-the-top gags and absurd situations that balance out the intense horror elements. His struggle against the forces of evil is both epic and comedic, making him one of the most beloved horror movie protagonists of all time. Then comes the third installment, Army of Darkness. Now this one pretty much took the franchise in a whole new direction with its time-traveling adventure. In it, Ash finds himself transported back in time to medieval England. He's stuck in the never-ending battle against the Evil Dead, and this time, he's facing off against an entire army of undead skeletons. As he tries to find a way to get back to his own time and defeat the evil forces, he encounters all sorts of wild challenges, including dueling with knights, navigating through creepy castles, and even falling in love with a medieval damsel. But of course, it wouldn't be an Evil Dead film without plenty of slapstick humor, over-the-top action sequences, and Ash's trademark sarcasm and wit. After the Army of Darkness came the Evil Dead 2013 remake, which is the 4th installment of the iconic Evil Dead franchise. This film brings a fresh take on the story while still paying homage to the original. It follows a group of friends who head to a remote cabin in the woods to help one of them overcome addiction. But things quickly spiral out of control when they discover the Book of the Dead and accidentally unleash a terrifying, bloodthirsty, demonic presence. What follows is an intense roller coaster of gore, suspense, and shocking moments that will make you squirm in your seat. The remake is known for its gruesome practical effects, intense performances, and a darker tone that takes the horror to a whole new level. While it may be a reboot, it still captures the spirit of the Evil Dead franchise, and fans of the original will appreciate the nods and references sprinkled throughout. Having said that, for 4 decades, the Evil Dead franchise has been a twisted teddy bear's picnic of horror, filled with black humor and blood-soaked gore. It's a saga where young people venture into the woods and find themselves in for a big surprise. But now, writer-director Lee Cronin's new addition to the franchise breaks tradition like a bone. Instead of the usual creaky cabins in rural America, This fifth entry, Evil Dead Rise, takes the flesh-devouring demons to the bustling streets of inner-city LA. When the film's first trailer dropped, some fans were skeptical. Would an Evil Dead movie still feel like an Evil Dead movie without the isolation that powered past installments? Were Cronin, Raimi, and Campbell taking a chainsaw to the very essence that made the original Evil Dead groovy? It's a bold move that has divided opinions. But one thing's for sure, this new installment takes the franchise in a refreshing and reinvented direction, rather than simply retreading old ground. The story follows two estranged sisters, Beth and Ellie, who reunite just in time for an ancient Sumerian text to bring doom upon their family. But don't worry, it still replicates the schlocky spirit of the original 1981 film by Sam Raimi, blurring the line between horror and humor with copious amounts of blood and scorching action. Just like in the previous films, unwitting teens accidentally unearth the dreaded Necronomicon Ex Mortis, which summons hordes of the damned and unleashes havoc. And of course, there's a spirited hero rising to the occasion, hacking through the Deadites like there's no tomorrow, wielding some familiar weapons along the way. It's a wild ride that fans of the franchise are sure to appreciate, and let us tell you, Evil Dead Rise doesn't stop at just changing the setting to Los Angeles. It takes the series to thrilling new places. Lee Cronin, a rising star in the horror genre, known for his 2019 film The Hole in the Ground, knows how to deliver inventive scares that will have you on the edge of your seat. In his second feature film, each scene takes full advantage of the claustrophobic domestic environment where the story unfolds, with set pieces involving everyday cooking utensils that will make you think twice before reaching for your cheese grater. And get ready to amp up your daily step count because there's a truly gruesome scene that traps viewers inside an elevator with an unseen, earring-snatching demon, which might have you taking the stairs for a while after watching this movie. Cronin knows how to create tension and terror in unexpected ways, keeping you hooked from start to finish. Honestly, the character development in Evil Dead Rise is top-notch, making the best of the series. Beth and Ellie, the two sisters at the center of the story, are not just battling the demons that awaken in the movie, but also their own personal demons. It's a refreshing take on character work that adds depth to the story. However, the real stars of the show are the Deadites, those hideous and foul-mouthed ghouls that are magnificently mischievous and malevolent. This movie takes evil to a whole new level. It doesn't just rise, as the title might suggest, but it teases, torments, decapitates, and disfigures. It gets under the skin of the characters and the audience alike, chewing them up like glass between molars, and spitting them out in a bloody mess. Yes, Cronin sure knew how to deliver. So is Evil Dead Rise a perfect film? Well, not exactly. You can often see the story beats coming from a mile away. But it's how it unfolds that keeps Cronin's screenplay engaging. The fact that the entire movie is set in one apartment may be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it keeps the tension high throughout the film, but on the other hand, it may leave the overall scale of the movie feeling somewhat small after it's over. However, these minor criticisms are just that, minor. Especially when you consider the context of this revival of one of horror's most beloved franchises. It's been ages since we last saw the Evil Dead on the big screen, and even longer since we got a story that truly captured the brutal magic of the original trilogy. Remember the 2013 reboot? It was a valiant effort, but it lacked the series' signature zany humor. And while Ash vs. Evil Dead the TV show that followed was well received, it never made it to the big screen. But now, with Evil Dead Rise, the franchise has finally found its groove again, and it's dropping with gory goodness. Fans of the series are in for a treat. The movie is going to be 96 minutes long, and we think you'll enjoy every minute of it. That's all on Evil Dead Rise for now. Do you think it'll live up to the hype? Let us know in the comments below, and if you like this video, give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more like it. See you in the next one.